Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. I'm Farron Cousins from Ring of Fire, sitting in for David Pakman today and tomorrow. Obviously, one of the biggest stories, even bigger than the indictments recently handed out by the Special Prosecutor's Office, is the tragedy that took place in Parkland, Florida, this past week. Donald Trump could not have botched the response to this massacre any worse than he actually did. Not only did the man go down there and give a speech where he didn't once mention the word gun, but he also posed for one of the most idiotic photo shoots I think I have ever seen any sitting president in my lifetime perform. Sitting there with first responders, thumbs up, big giant smile on his face like he just won a Medal of Honor. 17 people, most of them children, dead. And Donald Trump sat there smiling like an idiot, as if he had done anything to make it better, anything to help, or as if this was some kind of joyous occasion. And then, I wish that is as bad as his response got, but oh no, it got so much worse. He then goes on Twitter, decides to blame Obama for this. Democrats had the White House and full control of both the House and Senate for what, 2 years? And they didn't do anything about gun control. Now, I hate to admit it. I have to agree with him on that. That's correct. They did nothing about it. They should have, but they didn't. They did, during Obama's time in office, put in protections that made it a little bit more harder for mentally ill American citizens to buy weapons, to buy firearms, which Donald Trump repealed in his second month in office last year. But then, after trying to pin this as an Obama failure, Obama screwed up, Obama, everything bad that happens in the world, in the eyes of Donald Trump and the Republicans, it's always going to go back to Obama. So then after that, Donald Trump says, yeah, we got a mental health issue problem in this country and we got to fix it. That's the real issue. Okay, well, again, you literally made it worse, and you're not taking any responsibility for that. You can whine and cry all day long that we have a mental health crisis. But at the end of the day, you're the one that repealed that rule. That wasn't Paul Ryan. That wasn't Mitch McConnell. That wasn't the Koch brothers. That was you. You signed your name on that, Donald. This massacre is 100% yours. You own it. You helped this happen. And when the next one happens, and it will, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be by the end of the week, but it'll happen again because they're not doing anything about it. Again, wish that was the end of it, but it's not. Donald Trump, after all of this, decides, as he usually does, he's going to go play golf. Donald Trump spent part of his time on Saturday morning golfing, while just a few miles away, family members and fellow students were lowering their friends, their children, their brothers, their sisters into the ground as a result of this massacre. And Donald Trump was out golfing. And then later that night, Donald Trump finally decides to talk to a few people about gun control. But it wasn't the victims' families. It wasn't their friends. It wasn't experts. It wasn't advocates. It was the wealthy members of Mar-a-Lago. According to stories, to reports, what's going on right now. Saturday evening, Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago in South Florida was asking his wealthy donors, wealthy buddies, the people who had to pay a $200,000 entry fee to get into Mar-a-Lago as members. He asked them what he should do about gun control in the United States. Should we do anything? How do we handle this? I don't know. I'm not qualified to hold this position as president of the United States, so why don't you tell me, Mr. Hedge Fund Manager, Mr. Real Estate Developer? I'm sure you know more about the issue than I do, and I'm honestly sure they probably do. I'm sure that pretty much anybody in this country knows more about any issue better than you, Mr. Trump. And yeah, people are angry. I'm angry. You know, a few weeks ago, it was a Thursday evening, 3 weeks ago, I believe. My wife, who is a teacher, special education teacher, mind you, got a call from her principal saying that a student has made a threat against the school that he was going to come in on Friday and shoot students and teachers. Anybody wearing blue that day was his specific target. They weren't closing the school. The threat had been made via Snapchat. Police were investigating. There will be an increased police presence at the school on Friday at every entrance, every exit, and patrolling the halls. I think they had about 8 or 9 different police vehicles parked outside all day long. And that's what she went to sleep to on that Thursday evening, knowing that she was going to work tomorrow and a student had threatened to come in and shoot everyone. So Friday morning, she gets up, terrified, kisses the kids goodbye a little bit longer than usual, gave them extra hug, not knowing if she was coming home that day. I didn't know if she'd come home that day. She did. No event took place. Before school began, they found the kid. He was arrested. Crisis averted. That's not what happened in Parkland. That's not what happened at too many of these schools or churches or nightclubs or malls. Kids went to school that day and didn't come home, ever. And Trump was golfing while their bodies were being put into the ground.